Ladies and gentlepawns, welcome back to another video. This is day 3 of the Classical Climb series, and in this one, I'm going to be showing my third game that I've played in this playlist, I guess, and just break down on the thoughts. If you're new here, welcome. Go check back the other 2 videos, because those were just as good. If you want to spoil it for yourself, we have 1 win and 1 draw in the last 2, and let's go check it out. So now we head into our third game. My opponent is 1899, which is funny because I think my last opponent was 1899, but whatever. We got matched up. We were 1933 at the time. And yeah, we start off with the white pieces and we play e4. This is great because we love e4 and yeah, we enjoy playing it. But for the second day in a row, we get the Sicilian. And I wanted to go into a Grand Prix, but I was like, let's switch it up a little bit. We need to make this series exciting. So we play the Alpin. We get knight to f6, e5, knight to d5, d4, e6, knight f3, and then knight to c6. Knight to c6 is a mistake because you can already start pressing with c4, which is kind of an idea in the French too, where if these knights are kind of like sitting there, you can start kicking them out, and let's say they go back, you can play a4 and a5 and try and trap. But I don't really remember this, and I barely play the Alpin. I just am, experimenting while I go at it, and I actually spent a lot of time. I was thinking, oh, maybe bishop c4, but I was like, no, after bishop c4, there's just knight b6, and now I have to go back, and going back is not good because he could just, hit my bishop with tempo again. So I wasn't really interested in that idea, so I just played bishop b5, and now it's back in black's ball court. Takes, we get a couple exchanges, I get this nice center, and then I castle, and so far I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm fine, like, there's nothing I need to do, knight here. And then I play a3, and the reason why I played a3 was to have him avoid jumping in, because I would find that a little bit distasteful in the future. But I guess the move they wanted me to play is knight takes, and just allow for him to take back, and then play something like bishop e3, and just hold the center together, and not give him any breathing room. But I was like, you know what, a3, if he takes my knight, which he does, I played pawn to c3, and I thought I was fine. And I was, until he played, c4. And I looked at c4, and I was like, what on earth? Why would you play c4? Are you dumb? Like, now I can just make this a target. So I go queen e2. He goes queen to d5, which I'm starting to be shook a little bit. I'm like, what are you doing? And I thought, okay, what should I do? Should I, attack this weak pawn? Well, he's gonna attack. He's gonna protect with b5 if I go like knight d2. But I'm like, oh wait, b5? Ah, I know a move. a4. And a4 stops b5, and now I can go for this attack. Um, but my opponent, goes rook d8. I go knight to d2, and now I'm attacking this pawn. But my opponent played a very, very clever move. b6. And you're probably thinking, what? You just hang the pawn. Well, that's what I thought too. But the point of b6 is to open up this diagonal, and there's a pin incoming. And I fell for the bait. I took with the queen, take back, and bishop to a6. And now I'm losing. Well, losing a major piece to a minor piece, and it sucks. So I go back, takes, and then it's no longer winning because he played this move. I have a monstrous knight, and after this takes, I can just defend and play my knight to d6, and I'm like so much better because now you can't operate this c file where I have a weak c backwards pawn. And so I'm controlling the 2 main squares that are important for black's rooks to, do some damage. And, we get into a pretty draws position. Bring my king. He plays g5. I play king back. Um, Back and forth twice. Takes. We have an exchange. And now I was kind of annoyed because I was like, oh, now I've opened up the g file. What do I do? So I play rook to c2, defending this pawn, and stopping him from infiltrating and getting my weak a4 pawn. I kind of wanted this pawn to, control these two pawns from going anywhere. And now this is where the chaos starts. He plays rook to g1, which is the best move. And what I should have done is gone rook to b2 and attack here. Because, after that, let's say he goes, rook here. Then I take, he takes. And then I think I can play something like this. No, actually, no, that's kind of a bad idea. And then I also had thoughts of, um, playing pawn takes, and then after this, then have this. But I can't play pawn takes now because he can just take my knight. So in order for me to maybe, have this idea and this trick up my sleeve, I was like, oh, that's kind of nice. I like this idea of, doing a tactic like so and forking the rook and the king. And that's where I made the disastrous mistake to try and hold the knight. So in order after takes, I can play, let's say he made this move, I can go pawn takes. And he can't take because, if he takes, there's the fork. And then I can go here. And I thought, wait, I'm fine, right? But that was the mistake. And I didn't find it as a mistake. He takes, I take, and then he plays f5. And now my idea went out the window. I'm like, oh my. Wait, what? I had this idea of just going here. Now it no longer works. He just shut my entire thing down. Like, I was shocked. I was like, what? And I'm like, dang it. And the move now here to keep me in the game is c6. But I don't know why c6 makes sense. I mean, maybe to hold it a little bit more, but I didn't see a follow up. So I was kind of lost. And so I just played king e3, holding this piece because I knew he'd probably just go like rook g4 or something. And yeah, I was like, wait, now I'm no longer better. Like, I'm not better at all. He goes rook to a1, and then I go rook g2 because I was like, wait, maybe I have tactics of maybe possibly getting a draw. And, after takes, then maybe I have tactics with this knight, which I did in the future, which you'll see. Check, takes my pawn, I go knight to c4. This is just over. Gives me a check, goes here. This is a mistake because I can give this check. And when he goes back, now I own this entire 7th rank. And what I should have done is knight to d6, which is such a nice move because it just keeps everything together, and possibly I can just give checks forever and possibly make a draw. But I made a disastrous mistake. And I played rook g8. And now his king can run. And when I realized, I was like, oh, I'm just, I'm going to check him. Yeah, he could just run to all the good spaces. I give this last check, hoping to, get this triple fork, which looks really nice, but does nothing. Because he's too powerful. These pawns are, defending this rook. And there's no follow through. Takes. And he plays rook d8, d1. Do not be fooled by the analysis. This is not a draw. This is a glitch into the analysis system. But this is completely winning for black. And I won. I mean, if you just go move back, it's 5.4 on the analysis. And my knight does not have enough time to, protect these pawns, protect this weakness. And he's just going to make another pawn. And yeah, I lost this game. What did I lose? Like 40 elo? Because I'm still in the provisional rating, right? On Lichess. So, it was a really disappointing one. Um, but, I had lots of opportunities to draw, somewhat come back. As you can see, like right here, maybe if I had just gone like, knight to d6, that would have been better. Now you're probably thinking, oh, what about this fork? Well, that fork doesn't really work. That's just check. And I can't go here or here because there's still check and he just collects my knight. If I go here, he just goes rook takes and my pawns just fall off the board. Yeah, this is really annoying. But knight d, there was like knight here, which I thought was fine. But yeah, after this, then there's, knight check, and I could possibly get a draw after this, which would be possible, but it's a tough position to, really find yourself in. And it all came back with the huge mistake of me taking with the queen because I lost a very important rook for knight. And okay, yes, still drawable if you play like stockfish, but I'm human, right? I can't play a perfect position all the time. And I try my best. But yeah. But one thing I'm very happy about so far is in this classical thing that I've done, I've not fallen below, drumroll please, 80% accuracy. So I'm feeling really good about that. Um, what was it? First game I was like 81. The next game was like 95. And then this game I'm 80% because, it's a loss. Um, but yeah, I feel like I'm getting better. Um, in most of my over the board tournament games, I have been at around, what is it? In the 70s. Like a lot of my wins are in the 70% of like accuracy and stuff, which I'm not very proud of, but yeah, I wish that I could have, you know, have better wins and, decently strong losses because I want to play my games at, a proficient amount and a proficient strength. And yeah, so that's where we're at. We haven't fallen below 80%, which I'm happy, but there's still holes in my games because yeah, need to definitely work on my end game still. I need to definitely take advantage of dealing with knight rook versus two rooks positions, games where I'm in end games with, for example, knight bishops and all those other types of end games. I'm pretty proficient when it comes to, pawn and king end games. Those are probably my, favorite and easiest. But yeah, still got lots of learning to do. And to become a title player, you need to become very strong and do your very best no matter what it takes. So, yeah. Anyways, that's the video for you guys. This is day 3, and I'm out.